Good evening, and thank you for joining us. Please join me in saying the opening prayer. The energy of love is within us and is us. Whole and complete is the I am that we are. We awaken to the truth of our being, and we will this be done within and without. May we come to recognize that we receive all that we give. We know that we have forgiven ourselves when we forgive others of all grievances held within our minds. May we not be led into temptation by the voice of separation, but instead may we transcend all illusions, for ours is the power, love, and peace of Christ consciousness found within each of us, who is but the perfect extension of the one mind and heart that is shared by all, and is our birthright as the holy extensions of love itself. Our affirmation of faith. We believe in one God, the author and energy of all life, whose love sustains the universe and all things found within it. And our 5 Christ principles. 1. There is only one energy in the universe. That energy is love, at all times active in everyone, everywhere. 2. We are the divine energy of love, and that energy is found throughout the universe and in all things, whether seen or unseen. 3. We create our experiences by what we choose to think, feel, and believe, thereby establishing our responsibility for our own choices. 4. Through opening our heart center, we connect with the energy of love and bring out the Christ within us. And 5. We express our desire to be of service when we live and demonstrate Christ consciousness in all our affairs.
Thank you, Ms. Penny. And I'd like to welcome all those who are here, those watching, and those who will watch later in the week. Again, we'd like to welcome you to the Church of Christ Consciousness. And remember, we are here for those who are truly ready to live the truth of their being. Today, I want to talk about something I have never spoken of standing here. All right? And I've titled it, In Nothingness, All Things Are Possible and All Things Exist. Now, for those of you who are in the circle, right, I did a deep dive. It's in the deep dive discussions on this very topic, all right? If you're interested in it, you can go to lighthouse.rtofoundation.org, sign up, and you can enter and read it. Again, you'll find it in the deep dive discussions. But I want to start with this. What is nothingness? Let's break each of the 3 parts down. In nothingness, all things are possible and all things exist. So what do I mean by in nothingness? If God is everything, then there cannot be a nothingness or a void or an empty space. So what is meant by nothingness? If you understand what nothingness really implies, you can change your life this moment and from this moment forward. Nothingness has nothing to do with what we think of nothingness as blank or a void or emptiness. Nothingness is stillness. It's the absence of thought, of control. It's the absence of wanting what we want, how we want it, and to show up exactly the way we think it ought to. Because when we are in that egoic frame of reference, we're not in nothingness. And we have closed ourselves off to all potential, to all possibilities. Nothingness, I want you to think of it this way. the silence that exists between every note in music is a space of nothingness. And in that nothingness lies all potential for the next note. Another way of thinking about it. Think of a blank sheet of paper. It's a blank sheet of paper. That blank sheet of paper, let's call it nothingness. There's nothing on it. But it has the potential for you to create on that blank sheet of paper anything you want. You can write a word, you can draw a picture, it doesn't matter. But in that moment, that blank sheet of paper represents nothing. And nothingness is where all creativity, is where all creation begins. So in nothingness, all things are possible, all things. And it's only when we're in that stillness of no thought are we open to all the endless possibilities that's ours. Now, yes, we ultimately will choose something and we will begin to collapse all the other possibilities so that then we can have that experience. Let's say you're going to look for a new car. Instead of, what should I get? What kind of gas mileage does it? What color? What? Try coming at it from nothingness, from a pure state of nothingness. Visit car dealerships. And if you understand what I'm about to say, you will be amazed. Because the car will actually call you. It will call to you. Instead of you trying to go look for a particular vehicle, continue visiting car dealerships and car lots. One will call to you, and you will feel it. Notice I said feel it, not think it. You will feel, that's the car. That is the car. And it called to you because you didn't collapse all the possibilities by thinking about what's the best for me, what can I do, blah, blah, blah. Let it call to you, and you will be amazed because it really will call you. And it's not going to call you by your name. No, I'm not being ridiculous. It will call to you by a feeling. You will feel it. You will be intuitively drawn to it. Literally. And at that moment, when you open the door for the first time and you sit in it, it will feel right. It will feel like this is the car I'm supposed to have. Let nothingness serve you. Let endless potential and possibilities serve you. But in order for it to serve you, you must be aware of when you are collapsing nothingness into something. So I want to let you realize nothingness is really no thingness. Remember it as no thingness, where you're not thinking on a thing. You're allowing the universe and its endless potential lay it all out before you like a smorgasbord. And then you can choose. And the cool thing is, you will know it because it will call you. It will call and speak to your heart. The last part, in nothingness, all things are possible and all things exist. Here's reality. all things exist in nothingness. Absolute abundance. Whatever you can imagine, but the moment that you begin to imagine, you begin to collapse the possibilities. That's why I'm saying stay in nothingness and allow the endless potential of the universe to show you how abundant the universe is. So let's go back to the car. In nothingness, all things are possible and all things exist. So the car that you desire is already there. It exists. But instead of you trying to make it happen, trying to find it, let it find you. And it will. It will find you. You will be amazed. And you will just know it in that moment because you will feel it. You will feel it in the heart. And you will, and because it called you, everything in terms of buying the car just does like this. No problems. Because you didn't overwrite what your expectations were. Let it come to you. It's already there. But there is a caveat. And this comes from the Gospel of St. Thomas. A Gnostic gospel, but nevertheless, when you hear it, you'll know it is what Jesus said. Ask and ye shall receive. Ask and ye shall receive. You ask in nothingness. Not a demand, but in nothingness. And you shall receive. Why is it we ask and we seem not to receive sometimes? Because we've already collapsed all the possibilities and potential of how the universe could actually bring it or give it to us. And then we wonder, what happened? What did I do wrong? It isn't that you did anything wrong. You collapsed all the possibilities without realizing it. So ask and ye shall receive is to ask in nothingness and to remain in stillness and in certainty know that it's coming. And you have to believe it to your core. In the Gospel of Thomas, he said you have to believe it. You have to know it. And it will come. And then you will see yourself and feel yourself there because it is coming now from within instead of from the outside. When it comes from within, there you go. Because everything begins from within and is reflected in the external or in the outer. And that's what I want you to realize. If you will stay in nothingness, in the stillness, ask and you shall receive, it will begin to appear within you. It will begin to show within you. And then it will begin to show out there. And now you will experience it in a way that you could not have ever imagined. Because our limited concepts cannot imagine all of the ways in which the universe can deliver its abundance to us. But we have to remain open, true, and in a state of nothingness. Now, I'm not saying that's easy, but boy, is it well worth it. Because you will see how much you are truly loved and how much the universe, God, whatever you choose to call it, wants to just give. God is a giver. He loves to give. The problem is we're not really good receivers because we want to tell the universe, tell God how to give it to us, right? So I'm going to end with this. Next time you think of going to play the lottery, you've already collapsed and told the universe how you want that money to come to you from the lottery. So you've already collapsed every other possibility. Try, universe, I'm open to winning your lottery. However you, and whatever, I am receptive. I remain open. I will receive it. And I will not tell you how or what it is. And before you know it, you will know inside and you will begin to feel it and you will see it. And whatever it is was meant for you. It was meant for you to experience. Because only you can bring the perception of that experience to the universe. So all things, when you come from nothingness, you realize all things are for your highest good. And that there is only perfection. So I hope that from this moment forward, you will stop telling the universe how to do its job. Let it do its job, and you do yours, which is to remain open and allow all things to come to you. Stop telling the universe how to do it, how it should happen, and you will be amazed. The universe will deliver. It's much better than the UPS or USPS or FedEx because it doesn't lose your packages. There's no loss with the universe. There's only giving. If you will allow it. But the allowance is to remain open and in that stillness and in that space of nothingness. And that space of pure being, pure potential. Don't collapse any of it until you are moved to do so. And you'll be, again, shocked at how wonderful it works. It was meant to work. We're the ones that got in the way. So, thank you. Try it and discover how quickly your lives will be different. So let's take this moment. And if you would, join me. Place both feet on the floor. Let your shoulders drop. Let the tension go. Close your eyes for just a moment. And we're going to take 3 deep breaths. On the inhale, I want you to think, on the inhale, I am. And on the exhale, think, open to all things. On the inhale, I am. On the exhale, in a state of nothingness. On the inhale, I am. And on the exhale, open to receiving everything the universe chooses to give. Now, take a moment. Dive deeper into your heart space, that inner sanctuary, that place of joy and peace, that place of stillness. Stay there for just a moment. Sit in what it means to be in nothingness and to not be afraid. And to realize everything is there with you. Now, as we come back into this time, this place, this space, this moment, we do so renewed and unafraid, not fearful of nothingness, but desirous of it. Because now we know with certainty that's where all things begin, and ultimately all things end. So, thank you for joining us. Thank you again to all those who are here, those who are watching, and to those, I will say one more time, give yourself the gift of nothingness, and you'll be amazed that what you've given yourself is the gift of everything. All right, see you next Sunday. Have a good week.